Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're here for episode 5 of Takopi's Original Sin. Back to the suffering, back with Takopi. And yeah, closing in on an ending, I guess, here. I boldly claimed last week that I have a pretty good idea of where this show is going from here. I stand by that claim. I would imagine that things are going to get dark here in episode 5, potentially before a little bit of a rising action out of the fall in episode 6. Or maybe a little bit of a tease of, a rise at the end of this episode. Maybe we end a little bit more positive, but bad shit's about to go down today. And I'm not looking forward to it, but we're here. We're going to watch it, and we have some YouTube comments, or should I say comment, from Molly here. I don't think I agree with the idea of Azuma's home life being dramatized by Azuma, but I do like the idea. Someone who is surrounded by so much trauma in his friends' lives that he finds himself only being able to relate to it by casting his own routine stresses as traumatic. A good recipe for being found out by the people you're trying to empathize with and feeling like you've lost everyone. Yeah, I think this is taking a little bit more of a realistic view to it. I was viewing it more just by some kind of techniques we're using in kind of the filmmaking or the art and animation, you would say. Just a lot of things in the way that it's presented for Azuma is not a photorealistic, objective view of how things are being kind of shown, or would be shown in, say it was live action, right? And say, I was actually there in the classroom with Azuma, so I was actually there in Azuma's home. I don't think I would be seeing it the same way he's seeing it. And that was kind of my lead in there. But again, this is good stuff. Like, his circle right now, Marina, kind of, by extension, as well as Shizuka, have terrible lives. Terrible. So, of course, he's going to want to find, some kind of, community in finding his own life just as terrible. So he may feel the need to make himself relate to them by, casting his mother in this extreme negative light, where again I feel like we come full circle on that concept by the very end of episode 4, whereby essentially Junior says that Mom's a little bit of a fuck up as well. She's not as perfect as you think she is as well. Like, we're all just trying our best out here. Again, a really good resolution there, but I feel like, again, more evidence to the point of, I guess Azuma didn't have every single didn't have every single piece of information there, which caused him to perceive things a certain way. But again, it's just my take on it. It's not law, of course, and I do like this general idea, and I wish more people did it on the internet in general, of not agreeing with somebody's take, but still understanding it and liking it as an idea. It's mature. That's a mature take on analysis and talking about stories, and you don't get that a lot, so thank you for that. Also, thank you for this. I'd like to think that if you know one thing about me, I'm not going to be weird about kids. You don't have to worry about that. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm going to tell you right now. And I give a lot of leeway to child characters in a lot of things, right? I gave Marina a lot of leeway early on in this show, man. Like, it's, I don't know. You can't really, especially, like, she doesn't know what she's doing. I feel like it's more of a sad take that if she is doing something even approaching that, which is still tenuous, then I feel like she's only just copying her mother, no? The same way that Marina was copying her parents in the way that she abused Shizuka, right? Like, it's not a conscious decision by Shizuka to go out here and say, hey, Azuma, I'm 10 years old. I'm going to attract you. That's not how this works. That's not what she's doing, obviously. And again, even if she is, it's sad more than anything. I don't think any of the blame should be put on Shizuka at all. And I don't know why people would be weird about that. That just doesn't read as something that should happen. But anyway, the internet's gonna internet, I guess. And yeah, that'll do it for the YouTube comments there today. Let's give Patreon a shout out and watch this sucker, shall we? So Patreon, it's linked in the description below. If you want that last episode of Takopi 1 week early, it's available there for you. If you're watching this publicly, there should be another poll soon too, so keep an eye out for that. That's another thing that I've been neglecting to advertise on the right week. So poll, look for poll. Anybody can vote in poll, by the way. It's not just patrons, so look forward to that. Anyway, thank you to the patrons, such as Mickey Bebbers AF, AJ, Bananarama Hamadama Summer, BD422, Bisa, Blue Sky, Capella, Turbo Ribby, Copley, Dapper Dwarf, Ed, Fancy Question Mark, Fleur Nightingale, Fruit, Gloria and Tenebrae, Glyke, Gus N, Hans Peter, Hibiki Tachibana, Ika, Iwayuru, Yako Yavnen, Jami Boo, Joran, Kasogtha, Clem, Nosta, Kot Begemot, Lick H, Lou, Miru, Mistake Yel Chen, Molly Weinberger, Mr. Maniacs, Parnik, Pencil Sharp 333, Ronland BNK, Saint Lily, Sal, Sam1373, Skeleton, Tentacle Member, Waifu Overdose, Without a Net, Yuki Ali, Akumansa, Binshi, Kelvin, Voodoo Chili, Greybeard, Guanal, Marco San, Matthew Brancher, and Vibrant Weaver. Thank you to everybody for giving me money. I enjoy the money. And yeah, I guess we could spin this off into some, I guess, more concrete predictions about episode 5. So Azuma, as I said last week, he's kind of like, it feels like he's out of the story. It feels like he's almost like done. And if he does impact the story, it's not going to be a conflict internal to him. He's going to be an external person on another person's internal conflict, I guess. Needless to say, I don't think he's going to be a going concern. So where does that leave our little plan? Well, shit. With or without him, we got to go and see if Chappie's okay. We got to go to the city. We got to go see Dad. This means that we're going to run away from home, that Takopi and Shizuka are going to take the little plan that we have, and we're going to go to Tokyo. I think that's the idea. So, themes of the show: magic is real, Chappie is alive, everything's going to be okay if Takopi's here, because Takopi's proved the magic, like it's almost, again, this coping mechanism, defensive thing for Shizuka. I feel like she's going to go to Tokyo, find not Chappie, find potentially bad Dad, and yeah, we're going to need to rediscover that things aren't going to be okay all the time and the magic potentially isn't real. Which again, as I said in the start of the video, I feel like this is going to be a sad one. Please, please let me be wrong. I don't want to be. And again, Takopi's just not going to be able to like deal with this at all. Like Takopi's going to be out of his depth completely. So he's not going to help there. Again, that's when I feel like we're going to end at rock bottom and we're going to pick ourselves back up out of it for episode 6. So that's my take. We're going to jump in here and see what goes on regardless. So yeah, episode 5 upcoming. Radio, I have episode 5 of Takopi's Original Sin up there ready to go. 24 minutes and 31 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your own copy. I have the GJM file set, so again, it should be very similar to official, but has some extra signs and subs and songs and whatnot. You know what I mean. Either way, there's a picture-in-picture version in the description below if you don't want to deal with any of that. Let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm recording. Butterfly. Flashback? It seems like we're still at home. Very pretty sun. Hello, Shizuka. She's very thin, isn't she? I feel like I noted that in episode 1. I don't like that. Looks like we're sneaking out, which was the plan off of the end of episode 4. Interesting. This is just tragic. I was going to say, I felt like the episode length was a little bit on the shorter side for what we have to do in this episode, IMO. So we're using a little bit extra time here, which I think that's a good idea. A very early thing here with the sunlight. Once again. Light and dark, it's not exactly, you know, the most crazy metaphor ever, but they're doing a good job. So we've covered a lot of the travel very quickly. I thought maybe that would be some of the episode too. That's a dog. It's almost like Chappie. Oh, this is gonna kill me. No, it's so sad. So he's gonna be a scumbag, right? He's gonna be there with another family, or he's not gonna exist. Yeah, another family. So what's happened here? That ain't Chappie. Nah, it's a little toy dog. And they don't even know. This is happening very quickly. Okay, maybe I had the pace off here. And there's the sun too. This is the storm clouds. So I wonder what the story is there with. What? I wonder what the story there is with the mother and the father there. Shizuka. Shizuka? Don't do that. Takopi, you got a lot of responsibility here, buddy. Because clearly she's not okay. Which, I mean, fair enough. I don't think that exists. Love the setting here too. The mural in the background. What is happening? Yo, there's some crazy shit going on. Hang on. Whoa! How could I have forgotten? What's this all about? The eyes too. Sick. To you in 2022. Remember how I said I knew where this was going? Ah, no. What's the scar? I mean, she's pretty violent, but you know. I'm wondering how this connects. Vaccinations? Virus? 2022? She's an anti-vaxxer? What about the kombucha? I'm just wondering where this slots into our little timeline. We're out. Takopi, please help. What the hell is going on? No? Takopi? Okay, she's fucking losing it. It's so lively. I would be too. Oh. Ugh, don't do that. Oh, yeah. Stop psychoanalyzing me. That's my job. Pardon? Oh. Animation? Whoa. Hey, yo. Just straight up COVID. Okay. So when does the timeline reset, right? The pancakes are maybe a bit of a sore spot. No, she's talking to her little friend, Takopi. I'm losing my mind. So this is the future, no? In a different timeline? They did say we had a dead-ass time machine on Planet Happy. Hand-holding? In my anime? In current year? Yeah, who's that? I know who that is. No, I just saw somebody else. Love Hard Eyes? There she is. I'm all she... You gotta run. I'm gonna be honest. Like the voice acting a lot. Say the words. Come on now. Oh, attractive even. And Takopi ain't here? This is terrible. And Mom's gonna do something fucked, right? What did you do? I didn't do shit. You're projecting, Mum. Come on. Oh, it's not about you. All right. Oh, and the hair. Oh, God. Oh, duh. You guys seeing this shit? This isn't my fault. Oh, no. Nobody's saying that? So again, this happens before, right? So, okay. Yeah, that obviously ends poorly. And then somehow Takopi goes back. Because they're all in middle school there too. That's the other timeline thing. Anyway, he's about to find a dead child. Takopi? Eyes on the prize now. Oh, other way round. Other way round. Takopi, fuck off. We're gonna need some alone time. Come on. Takopi's original sin. Finally. The original sin. That explains everything. One problem, he forgot his purpose somewhere along the way. Oh. Planet Happy? I'm gonna need to go to... Oh, it looks beautiful. But yeah, I'm gonna need to go to Planet fucking Happy after this. I'm not gonna let you murder, buddy. Or not. Oh. Okay. What happened? He's gone rogue? So cool. Then, yeah, he kind of... His memory's all fucked still, but he still went back. Then went in the tube. Oh, yeah, his stupid name, yeah. And then, of course, okay. Just watch the episode. Don't explain it yet, but it's cool. Fucking Takopi's fucking rebellious too. What a mother-child stuff, huh? Why is it censored? Yeah. So is Takopi Mob Psycho 100? Yeah, but what about all that other stuff? Correct. They both fed me. A boy with a sparkle in his eye. That was cool. That backfills a ton of stuff and makes a ton of stuff make a lot of sense. So I had a long-standing feeling that we weren't done with Marina, and that was true. It just manifested in a way that I didn't think it would, because I thought that she was still alive or something, but I just had a feeling, that I felt that there was a bit of a hole there. The time travel element's really cool. It's all about perspective. That's kind of what this is trying to get at, right? Like, because we're kind of introduced halfway through the story, if that makes any sense. And we only get one side, where you can obviously pick up the other side, but like, just, yeah, I don't know, man. It's a fucking shitty situation all around. And it didn't go the way I thought. Let's put it that way. So I look like a bit of a chump, because I was like, I'm very smart. I know what's going on. I was not very smart. But that was, can't wait to unpack it some more. I feel like there's a lot of hidden, fun looking little stuff in there. And for a conclusion, I don't know. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I didn't know what's happening there towards the end, if I'm honest. Like, if I go back here, like right here, this kind of stuff, like where, when is this? When is the stuff with Azuma? Is this after? So we've kind of hit Takopi with a fucking rock, and now Takopi's back here. Takopi fucking spawned back here apparently, and we're gonna see Azuma and fix things. Like, is this post Shizuka beat me with a rock? It's kind of the latest point in the timeline, if that makes any sense. Yeah. I think so. And then Azuma showing up, sparkle in his eye, we're going to lead to some kind of solution, maybe. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. I'll return here kind of a couple hours, just a little bit later in the night, after I do a couple of things. And yeah, we'll figure it all out. And we're back. It's a little bit later on. Takopi episode 5 in the books. I was talking a big game early on in this video about how much I've figured it all out and stuff. That was just clearly not the case. I will give myself a little bit of credit. We are following the same general structure, whereby she saw the dad, there was a fall, there was something bad that happened because of it, and it seems that Takopi, with the help of another, is going to help pull Shizuka out of whatever the hell was going on. What I didn't account for was everything else. So again, just a little bit of credit there, I guess. Yeah, the big reveal is that when we start the story in episode 1, we're actually halfway through the story. I guess that's, in a nutshell, what is being revealed. Now again, I need to get my clarifications, but Happians from Planet Happy go to planets and make people happy and accomplish that as a goal and get them to smile and stuff. I think that's the general idea. Takopi was first contracted to do that with Marina, but not Marina the Marina we know now, Marina from a couple years in the future when she's in middle school. She's upset because the whole family situation never really healed. We've seen the first part of that with the marriage falling apart and the dad sleeping around and whatnot. Obviously, in that first timeline, I believe that the Shizuka and Marina were acquainted, but potentially it didn't go as violently as it originally did, or it didn't result in, obviously, Shizuka killing herself or any of that stuff. So she's still alive. Again, Marina, family situation bad. Takopi needs to make things better. Takopi sucks at doing that because Takopi's actually bad at being like a Happian from Planet Happy. He kind of isn't very good at that. Instead, based on, I guess, the mother and Marina's twisted set of motives, they see that Azuma and getting a boyfriend and kind of, I don't know, they see that as the ultimate goal. We'll unpack it as we go through the episode a little bit more. Shizuka then comes back into the picture. Obviously, we never really unpacked the whole Azuma issue either. That never happened in the first timeline, so he's obviously still attracted to Shizuka, or has a little crush on her, I guess. Azuma then leaves Marina. I didn't even know if they were really ever a thing. Anyway, they were like 13. They're not even really a thing anyway. But either way, he goes from one party to the other. That causes a violent outburst from the mother, whereby Marina then defends herself and kills her own mother, and then commits suicide, I believe. That's why she was holding the glass up against her neck. I would imagine so. So again, Takopi fucked up in that timeline pretty fucking bad. Kind of like episode 1, where he fucked up to the point where Shizuka killed herself. Like, we've got a lot of, like, suicide and murder going on because Takopi's not very good at this. Now, Takopi then gets an idea. He's like, oh shit, I'll go to the time machine and I'll go back and I'll make sure we kill Shizuka. Right? Because if we kill Shizuka, she'll never be in the picture. Therefore, you can be with Azuma. Therefore, you can satisfy the weird thing that mom has going on. Sure, and you can be happy. I can make you smile. But then he goes to Planet Happy, and then his mom's like, nah, you fucked up. You got to go back and become a newborn and forget everything. Like, you've essentially failed as an Happy, and you should be banished. The next best thing to banishment is resetting you, essentially. You're just going to forget everything and start again. However, Takopi, moved by the events of the episode, doesn't want to forget everything. Therefore, resists Mother, which is a big step because it's a whole kind of sub-theme in the episode, I would say. Fighting against Mother's wishes, overbearing as they may be, kind of almost following Marina's lead in that way. Violence, too, was an interesting one because Happians don't normally do, like, violence and stuff. So, because he kind of hurts Mom when he goes up and accesses the time machine. Either way, he accesses the time machine, but the memory wipe's already going on. Therefore, okay, memory wipe happens, goes back in time to a little bit earlier, meets up with Shizuka, but doesn't know why he was sent there in the first place. Because he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to kill. But then he doesn't know that. So then he sees it from Shizuka's perspective. After that, episode 1 happens. It's all a big story about perspective, and that, you know, one story's villain is another story's hero, and one story's got a hero is another story's villain. And yeah, from there, I guess the timeline resets and we do the rest of the show up to this point. So it's a little bit, you know, it's like cycles and stuff. There's some interesting stuff going on there. By the very end, I was a little bit confused too, and I know I've had this screen up for a while. I'll get into the episode. When we come back here, what's happening? So is that post-stabbing, right? Because then he's like, ah, yes, I remember now. How could I have forgotten? I must kill Shizuka. My memory loss is back. But then he remembers that Shizuka's actually kind of chill because she gave me some food. And also her living situation is pretty fucking bad too. And then Azuma shows up. And that's when it's like, okay, now we're moving on to whatever's in the finale. I think that's the vibe. Bear with me, it was a little bit confusing. Yeah, so I can't say I saw that coming. I feel like it enhances a lot of moments in the story, i.e. Takopi killing Marina. That's full of irony now, absolutely chock full. The part where Marina's mother begs her to come back, that's enhanced with meaning now too. Episode 1 is completely ironic actually, because Shizuka ends up killing herself, and that's the problem. Where, again, if Takopi hadn't lost his memories, that would have been mission accomplished. and we would have just left and, job done. That would have been very happy. But no, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Projecting forward, I can't say I know where Azuma's going with any of this, but seems positive, I guess. I don't know. It's a way to get Azuma back into the plot, which is appreciated. I thought he was kind of done by now, but maybe inspired by his brother somewhat, he's going to, step in and make things right. It also explains there was a plot hole. Takopi couldn't go back to Planet Happy, and he didn't remember why. Now he obviously remembers why, and we know too. So, again, it's all just clicking. It's good. Yeah, episode very good again. It was just a lot, obviously, and very, pointedly the first kind of thing we see is a butterfly, obviously invoking the butterfly effect and, a bit of a time travel story and how different kind of timelines and different kind of actions play out. I thought that was kind of neat. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. Is it as emotionally devastating as episode 1? Probably not. Is it as immaculately produced as episode 4? Probably not. Is it somewhere in between in the rest of the episodes? I would say yes. It's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite. It's a damn good episode of anime. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next week to figure out where we land on everything. That's going to be fascinating, I guess. So yeah, let's dive back through here. Yes, of course, the first thing we need to do is unpack, the first 3-4 minutes of the episode, which was what I thought the entire episode would encompass, i.e. the trip to Tokyo, the meeting with the father, and obviously the rug pull, that the situation isn't what Shizuka thought it was going to be. Very early in the episode here, we see a motif around sunlight and kind of that light representing hope, I would say, right? And even magic in a lot of ways, kind of this real sparkle to it. Again, it's been associated with magic previous in the show, I would say. Through this whole kind of montage of Shizuka traveling, we'll see this light kind of shining through, just, again, beacon of hope for Shizuka as she moves towards Tokyo. Obviously, again, representing summer break, kind of an early sunrise, very hot morning, that kind of thing. Just, yeah, all coming together, very thematically rich and dense. Love slowing down the episode here a little bit more. Clock, time travel, very early in the picture here, but also a crack, also something's gone wrong. Even maybe a split, something is kind of severed and split off in a weird direction at some point where it shouldn't have gone. Very clever. I really hope we do something with Mom eventually. She kind of only really had that one scene where she was clearly just tired and not caring about the whole Chappie police encounter thing, where now it is confirmed that she lied to Shizuka about Chappie, saying that, he's with Dad and not dead, because Chappie's dead in a ditch. Hate to break it to everybody. I feel like we never really got to hear her side of the story. I guess, might as well unpack it now. Where's Dad? So what do we reckon happened here? He kind of slept around and maybe promised her the world and then got her pregnant and then was around for a little bit and then just skedaddled and went back. Because, he seems to be a pretty well put together guy. Maybe he was super young. He seems pretty young here, I would say. So were they both just really young? Were they both 16 or something? Because I don't know. Okay, so obviously Dad's skipped out. He doesn't see this estranged child. Mum's an escort now. I don't know if she used to be. I'm just trying to... But he seems put together. I thought that it was going to be okay, Dad's shady and seedy and stuff, but he's got 2 loving kids. He seems to own property. The kids seem to like him a fair bit. Seems okay. My guess is that he was just very young and it was too early for him and he got a bit overwhelmed and obviously has done the shitty thing of just kind of blocking her out and, leaving Shizuka out, wherever she is, doesn't really pay any attention to her. I don't know, I'd like to see that unpacked in a little bit more detail at some point. Another notable thing very early here is how happy Shizuka is. It is... you could call it dramatically ironic, I guess you could say. It's just the audience knows that it's not what it seems, the magic isn't real, and that we're probably walking towards some kind of disaster, and Shizuka is unaware. I don't know, it made me laugh a little bit, even though it was horribly tragic. I'm very happy I picked up on a lot of things early, like, again, associating Chappie with Dad too, because it's not just, hey, I'm going to go see my dog, and Chappie's the one thing that makes everything better, and blah, 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 blah. It's also that Chappie represents the missing piece of my life, that I don't have another parent that, you know, that is just mum raising me, and it's very hard for her to do that, and I feel like I'm being kind of deprived of that guardianship because of that, right? It's kind of what Chappie represents in a lot of ways. If I just have Chappie, this kind of facsimile of that love, then that'll make everything okay. That'll be fine. So yeah, I'm happy that that's coming back in the here and now. That was very well set up in the initial episodes. Another thing to watch in this musical montage is a lot of families in the background, a lot of happy, well put together families on holidays and whatnot. Again, it's this kind of grim reminder of what could have been if things were different. Again, maybe a butterfly effect type jobby too, right? What if my parents stayed together? You know, it could have been like this. Do love a good road trip. I feel like this montage is very well put together in that way. Just, yeah, something about traveling from, like, that spot in Japan down, kind of across the sea, taking the ferry, that kind of thing. It just, I don't know, I like that as a motif. It's cool. This was also where the pace of the episode really got to me. I'm like, okay, shit, if we're doing this quickly, if we're relegating the travel and everything to a montage, then shit, what's the rest of the episode going to be? And that's when I found out that I was incorrect about my assumptions. I guess I foresaw the travel starting and Takopi and Shizuka unpacking things and reestablishing things and having a conversation or two before meeting Dad, and then the inevitable falling out from that. It just went through that in 2 minutes instead of 12. Great faces through this section too. I mean, yeah. Just kind of from there to there, you know. Oh, she's just so excited. She's like bouncing up and down in the elevator, kind of 2 hands on the backpack. She's just a kid. She doesn't know. It's tragic, man. It sucks. Great musical direction here too. We have this kind of really joyous, kind of bouncy, buoyant tune, which kind of immediately cuts out when Dad walks out with a child in hand. I'm already a dad to somebody else, buddy. So again, let's unpack this Chappie thing. Shizuka walks in here. First thing she wants to see is Dad. Magic's real. That means that Dad's going to be, you know, back to normal per se. He's going to be like this missing piece for me. He's going to be this father figure. He's going to make everything better. And then that hope is immediately dashed because, again, another kid. He's not going to, you know, leave whatever he has going on here to, you know, be with me and Mum. That's just unrealistic. That's part of the magic that's gone. And then it quickly turns to, okay, well, if Dad's still out of the picture, then Chappie. Let's get Chappie, right? No Chappie either. Very well directed show. It is in every episode, but I mean, this is a good example of it. She's being left out of whatever's going on. She's on the outside of the door. Look on the inside. It's all very, you know, lovely and bright and welcoming and stuff. And I'm left in the kind of, you know, muted colored concrete outside by myself. I don't know, it seems simple on the outside, but framing the shots like that just really emphasizes it in a cool way. It's good. I don't know, I'm trying to unpack something with class as well, because obviously, again, they're a little bit more put together than Shizuka's current living arrangement. Something about the comparison of Chappie, who's a little bit raggedy. He's a good dog, but he's not a toy poodle type situation over here. So again, just very different. Dad has changed. The dog has changed. Everything's changed. I'm not a part of this anymore. Instead of having Chappie, he'd rather have this. These two are intrinsically linked. They're like the same thing. He's pushed me aside because I'm Chappie, and he'd rather have this. You know, that's how Shizuka's feeling anyway. And then the kind of sunshine motif gets unpacked here a little bit more with the storm clouds coming up behind. Very ominous. Pretty obvious stuff, but the show does a good job with it still. This is where we get into a little bit more of class as well, where the dad even refuses to engage with the other children's questions about who this is. Clearly he's hiding Shizuka. Clearly he's almost like embarrassed of her. She's, yeah, obviously lower socioeconomic. She's dirty. She doesn't have the clothes. She doesn't have the... Yeah, it's almost like embarrassing for him. I don't know, it's not the worst thing that could have happened if she showed up. I was worried that Dad was going to, like, one, not be there anymore because they're running off outdated information and they can't find him, so that just leaves questions. Or he was like a super scumbag and he would like, I don't know, be like dangerous where he lived or something. Those were like my two biggest fears, but this was still pretty high up there. So what happens here as well with... So do you reckon Dad still has Shizuka's mother's contact information or something? Does he just call her now and say, hey, I've got Shizuka here? Like, is that how everybody gets back to the town up north? Is that how that goes? And yeah, if things couldn't get dark enough, Shizuka clearly twists a lot here and snaps, and I don't know, she put a lot of faith in the summer trip and the magic is real and the dad has Chappie. So clearly when all those hopes get dashed, she's going to make some rash decisions and think that the kids ate Chappie and that it's time to go murder those other kids and stuff. I don't think that's a good idea. You can murder Dad. Dad's kind of scummy. I mean, I don't know. Shit. Nah, he's kind of scummy. I was going to cut him a bit of slack and say that he was young, but you should still, like, see her. Or, like, explain to the other kids that you have another kid. Like, I don't know. It's the bare minimum, maybe? Yeah, kids get a lot of leeway, adults less, so Dad's pretty shit. Mentioned in the reaction here that I really love the setting here for this kind of interaction, this scene. Something about the tunnel under the train line, along with the mural of like a happy sunny day in the background, it raining outside. There's a lot of, you know, the backdrop is the thing that I wish it was. Outside is the reality. You clearly have the magic. Let me take hold of the magic and let me almost access this world behind me, you know? And if I see that you're withholding that, then time to die. I think Shizuka kind of snapping here and almost acting like Marina here in these moments, and that being the reminder of what happened in the past, that's all no accident, right? A character that was initially sympathetic, who was initially the bullied, pushed to the edge, is actually the exact same as the person bullying her, right? Like that's... They're in very similar situations. It's pretty sucky for the both of them. Love this moment here for Takopi. Probably the closest in the episode I got to being emotional. There was some good stuff with the mom, I guess, but that was more just horrifying. I love Takopi here. Here's when he, like, realizes his faults and realizes his shortcomings and almost, like, says, divorced from that, I still, like, care about you and don't want you to do, like, rash things. And hey, what if we just kind of start anew and don't think about any of this stuff? It's a cutting through of all the bullshit. It's a, hey, this is my actual feelings about you, Shizuka. Can we do this? Obviously doesn't get the response that he wants, but I don't know, I really felt it as a sentiment from Takopi. Yeah, this line here, I'm not smart enough to help you, P. Yeah, I don't know, there's something to that. There's something to, hey, finally I'm going to take a step back and I'm not going to kind of Takopi-splain it. Just that I care about you and I want you to be okay and this isn't healthy. Once again blaming himself because I didn't step in when the whole Chappie situation was going down. Obviously the killing of Marina didn't help. That, you know, gave you a false sense of magic being real and blah, 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 blah. I want to take some responsibility. Love the music here. It was giving me Kensuke Ushio in a cool way. Just a sparse piano track. It really kind of accentuated the scene well. And then, yeah, the time travel stuff starts, gets really cool. Those eyes there, I've seen them before. Those are the eyes of the person that I wanted to kill, right there. Kind of the eyes that, you know, Azuma saw that spun off and did the whole Marina thing, as we learn here in the rest of the episode. Some of the sub work here is really good. I like how it's faded in the same way that the memories are kind of fuzzy and fading in for Takopi. Enhanced the experience for me. It was, yeah, I'm happy I'm doing this subset. You guys were right. And obviously, again, this very quick montage of the memories flooding back is now making more sense, considering I've seen the extended version. Now, again, I hate to be the one to give myself credit, but I did say when we first kind of met Takopi in episode 1 that this was almost giving me like, this meeting will happen again and be shifted somehow, right? Just him kind of coming out of the pipe and, you know, meeting somebody. I said, okay, that's a scene that is ripe for another version of it happening later. Now, again, I thought 3 pipes, 3 different characters. Clearly, we've only done 2, but I don't know. I'll give myself half a point. I'm doing okay. Ooh, I just I found a really heartbreaking and really kind of poignant small detail. In Marina's kind of last moments here, she laments the fact that she never gave Takopi a name, right? And then thinks to herself, it's like, oh, maybe Takopi would be okay, right? That is also the natural name which Shizuka kind of finds in episode 1, if that makes any sense, right? So, I don't know, they're two characters that are on the opposite sides of this conflict, right, for whatever reason, but they're also the same. They both thought of that same name for Takopi, right? It goes to show how similar they are, I guess, in a very kind of poignant and nuanced kind of way. I thought that was cool. I just realized that. Now, I'm sure maybe there was some stuff earlier in the show about what year it is. I would imagine that, shit, would it be like 2019 in current year in the show, maybe, when the kids are all 10? And then 13, middle school. Yeah, that's lining up okay. I guess? Yeah. Another very interesting thing, and I guess we'll unpack it as the episode continues, it's like real Earth 2022. It's like the remnants of COVID 2022, which is insane. I don't know, something about like art being made that is portraying a period so recent and so kind of widespread, and everyone kind of has their own kind of take on it and go on it. And I don't know, I found that kind of cool too. I hadn't really seen something like that before, that I'd kind of lived. I lived COVID, it was a thing. And yeah, seeing it in my Japanese animes is kind of fun. I don't know, I liked it. And I guess, okay, let's skip to the part which backs up my thoughts, I guess. Where's Mom? I feel like Mom being kind of COVID mad a little bit. We're talking about vaccines and stuff, and she's clearly not doing well and leaving the house a lot and stuff. Kind of linking that a little bit into her further mental decline is kind of pointed. It sucked. It wasn't very good for a lot of people and kind of exacerbated issues that were long-standing mentally for people. Obviously isn't the root cause, obviously isn't the only thing causing her to act the way she acts, but can't have helped. Just isolation for a year and a half, 2 years. Not good. I mean, Japan had it pretty bad, no? Right? I feel like they did. So obviously not going great. So I need to unpack what the scar is, because we talk about it a little bit later. Let's get there again, because it's obviously the difference that we see with her at the moment. The other thing that I guess a Japanese audience would immediately pick up is that the uniform change signifies further in the future. Because I was like, are they the same age and at a different school for some weird reason? Is it just like an alternate Earth? No, they just aged up, and then the timing kind of started to make sense. And she definitely keeps beating the shit out of Takopi, huh? Maybe, that beatdown in episode 1 came kind of naturally to her. Again, we've unpacked the reason why she's as violent as she is. She learned it from the best. So I'm not crazy, right? She's just kind of inside all the time, drinking a lot of kombucha, very clean. You're like kind of crazy about it, no? Is that the take here, I guess? The other thing we can do as well is think about how it was going in the past and how it's now kind of, graduated into what it is here in this kind of timeline. I internalized a lot of I have to be mama's girl and stick with her and make sure that she's okay with everything, right? She's still doing that now. She never stopped doing that. Well, one, because she never fucking died, but yeah, like that whole thing never stopped. So I feel like I walk in, I'm obviously kind of, weirded out by seeing Mum like this, but I have to make sure that everything's okay. I have to be on her side constantly. Mum's behavior never got challenged and never got stopped. Still, I'm still going to be that same way. We also mentioned pills here. What would she be on? Kind of antidepressants or something? Apparently nightmares are a symptom. I'm guessing maybe that's what's happening. Either way, she's... the doctor's treating her for something. I'd imagine mental, right? And Mum, I don't know, she's just lost it. Clearly the pointed glass, the sharp glasses, the scar on the face, that's all connected. A small thing spinning off into a bigger thing, just something as simple as not having the cleanest, most freshest kombucha or whatever. I need my bulk online order, damn it. This is your average Woolworths customer. I don't know. I don't know how much of my audience will get that. But anyway, are you saying Mummy deserves to drink this cheap liquor? Okay, so because I didn't have my kombucha, I instead got on the piss, and now I'm going to beat my child because she didn't get the kombucha. That sounds like you wanted to beat the child in the first place. Like, you were just making up an excuse. You can't take care of the house, that's why boys don't like you. Well, the whole boys don't like you thing will spin off into the whole complex with Ozma later on, which clearly Mum's putting her own experience into that. Dad left her. Obviously, she sees that repeating with Marina. Doesn't want that to do so, is putting a lot of her faith into her. Blah, 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 blah. It's messy. And I mean, I remember that scene from episode 3, so I'm very sympathetic to Mum still. She just never got the help that she needed, right? Deep down, very deep down here at this point, she still cares about her daughter, like, a lot. Killing Marina, clearly wasn't the play either. I don't know, just... yeah. The breastfeeding thing, let's do this now. So, okay, breastfeeding, because I didn't breastfeed you enough when you were little, that's obviously linking into, like, motherhood and me being a good mother. My bad kind of parenting, my bad kind of mothering goes all the way back to then. I've never been a good mother. That's why Dad left. That's why this happened. That's why that happened. It's all because of this one thing. The kind of scar on the face being a reminder of a time where a cup broke and she got cut on her face when she was little. Now again, I don't know if I'm seeing things here, but kind of waning off of breastfeeding and into like a bottle. Is that where the cup and the bottle is scarring the face or something? Or is that just a stretch from me, kind of from one scene to the next? I don't know. It would enhance meaning, so sure, let's say. And yeah, that's why she was kind of petrified before when we had that glass right up in her face. And the transitions here are brutal. Like, she was like digging into her face like crazy too, like with her like fingernails in the scar. And then straight from that to, I want to be a happy mother someday. I'll give birth to a happy baby and make sure they're happy. Seems like Marina herself is internalizing a lot of Mom's whole complex, right? Like, I don't know, it's almost like postnatal depression, but like extended out for Mom, and that's kind of being twisted and manipulated onto Marina in a weird way. Like, I almost don't feel like I'm the perfect mother in mothering Marina, right? I'm letting that eat away at me. I'm letting that kind of almost manifest and become reality, and me myself be a bad mother, and then I kick myself in the ass for being a bad mother. And obviously Marina's now taking that on board and is like, my one goal is to be happy, Mom. And also, if I can do that, then I'm sure Mom will be happy too. Like, it's all connected, very obviously as well. Mother and child in the background. And then Takopi psychoanalyzes Marina, saying that you're violent with me because she's violent with you, which is... that's my job to psychoanalyze, not you, buddy. You're a character in the show. You can't be doing that. Either way, Takopi now sees goal. It's the same as Takopi with Shizuka, right? Where it's like, okay, what's the goal? The goal is to make you smile. The goal is to make you happy. The goal is to make things okay with you. To maybe even stop your tormenting at the hands of another. Great, now I've got the goal, I can go ahead and accomplish it. You've been talking about being a good mother. Well, in order to be a good mother and in order to kind of accomplish that whole thing, then you need a papa. Let's find a boyfriend. And weirdly enough, Ozma's here. It's slightly aged up Ozma. I was going to say that I can kind of tell that the two other characters got older, not so much Ozma, but now looking at him here, he clearly is a little bit longer, a little bit more built. And yeah, it was kind of love at first sight, weirdly enough, for Marina. I guess I never really saw those two interact. I can't imagine that if things went the same way that he would have a particularly high opinion of you. He saw you bully Shizuka many times. Anyway, weird. But you've kind of fallen head over heels. Clearly you two hadn't seen each other for a little bit too. There was a bit of a split there for some reason, and you see each other again and fancy each other. Sure, why not? Once again, light and darkness. Playing with it a lot in this room. It was very dark when she was doing the whole COVID thing with the phone. That was really the only light in the room. The light of the fridge too. It was all very scary. Now the lights are on, it's almost like a happy home is being built around us, right? It seems like we've got our goal and we're on our track and we're going to make things okay. Which again, when Shizuka does what she does, it, rug pulls everything and makes it all not okay, right? Very noticeably, again, okay, I'm at about 11 minutes. If I go here a little bit further when this is all going down, it's pretty dark. It gets a little bit darker in the room. I don't know, it's like sun setting. So again, not rocket science. It's not crazy, but it's there, and I appreciate it. Oh, I missed this line. You're just delusional. Oh. Your daddy's work isn't going well because of COVID, so I'm sure he'll come home soon. I thought he's just out of the picture, no? Right? They divorced. He's not coming back. Are you still delusional thinking that he's coming back? No, that's not gonna happen, no? Right? Am I missing something? Are they divorced in this timeline? Oh yeah, I missed all this shit. Okay, yeah, no. So Dad is talking to Marina. There's this really great cringe here. Let me get this cringe right here, where she's like, ugh. When he comes back, we should all go out for dinner. It's like, oh God, she's like delusional. And then, yeah, Dad here. Marina, I need you to talk to her. She needs to stop avoiding the divorce mediation. I've reached my limit. I just want to move on and start a new life. She needs to realize that I need a chance to rebuild my life, blah, 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 blah. Cool. Octobank. That's funny. What do you mean you need to talk to her? You need to talk to... You guys are the adults. I can't do any... I'm 13. I'm sorry. I can't do anything. Oh my God. These fucking parents, man. They piss me off. And then, yeah, we start to talk about Azuma. She learns that he's in line to take over the clinic, even though that's not the truth. Junior's in line. Brother's gonna do it. Yeah, let's make sure we don't tell Mum that detail. Let her live in her delusional little fantasy land over there. Just, am I crazy? Again, I've said it twice now. Kensuke Ushio vibe to the music. Really loving it. It's giving me Naoko Yamada a little bit in the direction too. There's just some great little touches here and there. Once again, like the kind of pull away on the coffee there. I know it's all fucked up. Don't at me, but like just the cringe when I don't tell her about the clinic thing. Like, I don't know. It's giving me Yamada. I wonder if it's an influence. I should see who directed this. Hang on. Righto. Hirotaka Mori. Let's have a look here. Only ever episodic direction have I seen any of these. Oh, no. Director of Heavenly Delusion. I've heard good things. And yeah, I mean, there's some good shows here. Credits on this, always nice. Freerun episode directed the last episode of the show currently as I'm recording. Bit of Haikyuu here and there. Yeah, it's a pretty good little resume. Nothing crazy though. We're having fun here too. It's the first time I've had such a nice chat with Mum. If she's going to make all this food. He has a sweet tooth. Apparently he's into pancakes. Like there's a wink and a nod here to the audience. I think that's funny. Anyway, it seems like things are all going to be patched up with Mum and I'm finally going to be a happy family and stuff if I, stay with Azuma and we kind of follow that through, I guess. She has a lot of investment in me being happy with him. So yeah, chat room, I'm not a crazy person. What's the deal with the scar then? Because this is like a different timeline, no? Like, we don't see the thing that changes this from happening. Right? I guess I'd need to bring up a different episode if I want to see an unscarred Marina, but does that imply that the scarring happens in the time between kind of being 10 and being 13? But it said when I was little. I guess little still implies, like, she could be 11. I don't know, it's a weird one. Maybe, again, that throws out the bottle theory, though. A nice bit of self-reflection here from Marina as well, that, hey, Dad left, Mum became a bit of a different person, but because of what I'm doing now, it seems that everything's okay, that you may be potentially happy, right? And Takopi helped with that. I may not have taken this path with Azuma if not you pushing to find Papa or whatever you said. But I mean, I wasn't born yesterday. I know where we are in the episode. I know things are about to go poorly. And then, yeah, immediately things start falling apart. We hear some incidental dialogue from two other kind of characters off to the side. They're like, hey, there's this new transfer student. Apparently, she used to be around here. She tried to kill herself before. Things were going bad with her childhood, but she's returned and she's really pretty. We knew who that is. It's Shizuka. once again, I'm querying a few things. That implies that the major reason that she actually went through with killing herself was because of the whole Chappie thing that you instigated. Oh, no, it doesn't. I know what did it. Takopi gave her the fucking rope. I did, because Takopi wasn't there. She never had the fucking tools to do so. Ah. That really puts a dampener on things, doesn't it? Oh no. Okay, so everything happened almost the same way. Chappie went, blah, 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 blah. She felt really bad, obviously. I think maybe she left for some reason. I don't really know what happened there, but she came back now. She seems to be a little bit more well put together, and now she's here to steal your man or whatever is going on. Oh yeah, apparently the rope broke. I really fucking... read the dialogue, man. Okay. Now I know what's going on. Okay, I'm fine. Now, once again, let's unpack this from Azuma's situation to get him to the point where he is now. So, rope broke for Shizuka. Shizuka survived, went off. But we never solved his whole Shizuka thing, because we never had that confrontation with... There was never a murder. We never got close. There was never... like Junior in the kind of hallway stopping me at the door and all that whole scene in episode 4. So he's still got this complex. He still feels inferior to Junior. They never really patched things up. It was always weird. So he's still got this thing about approval from people that look like his mother and the whole black hair thing that we did from the last episode. That's why we never solved that. That's why he does what he does. You can see it visually too. He's still got the love hearts in his eyes. We never resolved it, you know? God, there's just happy families everywhere in the kind of background and foreground in this episode, man. Like, again, Azuma here is kind of explaining his side and why he's going to, you know, side with Shizuka over Marina here and that whole thing. Somewhat out of pity almost too. Like, she's all that, you know... I'm all that she has. She doesn't have family or nothing. Now, that almost reverses the whole privilege thing. It's almost like she's being privileged because she's been less privileged, which, I mean, that's not any way to treat a relationship anyway, I don't think. And now I'm realizing she's the only one I have too, because, you know, my whole family situation's fucked. Again, never patched things up with my brother. And now there's the dread, obviously. Martin is going to have to tell Mom about Azuma not being in the picture anymore, and she kind of avoids telling her for the longest time. Specifically here, she's done sweets as well. I made a Bavarian cream that you liked. I know that Azuma likes his sweets. All that other kind of stuff. It's the first time that I've made like a nice meal like this in a very long time. It's the first time I've like, you know, been this perfect housewife. It seems to be part of her complex too. Going back to the whole curtain tassel thing. She's just fucking mental, eh? She's just crazy. Little touches all over the show, very good though. Anyway, it's just, your heart's just sinking at this point in the episode. You're like, God. I don't know. I really hope we come through next week and have a really happy episode. That's my hope anyway. It all happens very quickly. Marina's left to fend for herself with her mother, whilst Takopi goes to collect Azuma. Azuma at this time is having a little rendezvous with Shizuka, so obviously he's occupied. He's not going to show up. Takopi just completely misreading the situation once again and missing a thing, resulting in character deaths. Episode 1 memories coming back now too. And I just like rewatching it's making me like cringe. I don't like it. I don't like this like, oh God, we can't just tell her that we've broken up because she's just gonna freak out. She always has just fucking freaked out whenever we told her stuff. Like it's just hell. Everything with Marina just sucks. Her whole family sucks. Her mum sucks. It just sucks. I hate it here, man. Some almost like horror, like thriller filmmaking here, like the zoom onto the leaky faucet as you can like hear a pin drop. The tension in the room is kind of that thick. And this is when I once again get really disappointed with the mom. Obviously, like Marin has been broken up with. She's like bawling her eyes out, and instead of like, you know, consoling her and that kind of thing, you confront her with that. You say, no, you were inadequate. You must have done something wrong to make him want to leave. What did you do? You're just like me. You got into a situation where you did something wrong which made another partner leave you. which is just, it's a terrible mental spot to be in. And to project that onto your own daughter, you suck. I don't know, you're just like mentally fucked. And like you're clearly like not taking your drugs or taking too many, or it's just not good. Immediately, yeah, it's like what did you do wrong, Mari-chan, to make the relationship fall apart? Projecting much? I don't know. Like, it's crazy. Brutal touches all over this thing. Obviously, she's knocking over a glass here of some kind of mug, making that kind of glass shattering sound. Immediately goes for the scar, that kind of trauma, that fear of glass coming back through again. It's not. Take me home. Take me out of here. I don't want to I don't want to be here. It's it's in the fucking touches with this show, like the grabbing of the hair there, and then where's that shot? The hair's like falling out. I'm like pulling my hair out, literally, like thinking about this, like me being damaged goods is almost like passed on to you, and yeah, such a warped sense of like everything from her. She's just like, look how much food I cooked. It's a fucking brutal line. There's a brutal kind of thing that she does every like 2 seconds, man. Like, once again, Mum's just mental. Because like Marina says, Nao-kun chose somebody else over me, right? Azuma picked somebody else. No, you're only saying that to get a rise out of me because your father picked somebody else. It's like, no, it's not all about you. I'm sorry that happened, but I don't know. I'm hurting too, pretty obviously. I don't know. Are you saying that everything's my fault? Everything. Glass once again. Also love the shot of the tears falling onto Marina's face. Once again, my sadness is literally being passed on to you. It's literally trickling down. Right, which has been the whole thing. Again, internalizing behaviors shown very early in life from you. And yeah, finally here, glass going down, shoving down into her face. Obviously here at some point, Marina then reverses it and kills her in turn, but also doesn't mean to hurt her, almost reflecting Takopi with the camera as well. I only meant to kind of lash out and defend myself. I didn't mean to kill. I didn't mean to murder. Almost Marina's original sin, if you want to put it that way. Once again, using that same glass to take her own life as well. It's all just pretty cheery over here, guys. Also, once again, wanted to highlight that shot of the mother, because it's very similar to the one of kind of Shizuka with the rock from very early in the episode 2, kind of that same kind of strike. Now, bear with me on this one. Maybe I'm out on a limb. Maybe it's super obvious. I don't really know, but there's a connection here being made between Shizuka and Marina's mother in a really cool way, right? Mom and Shizuka are both at these points in the story hopelessly delusional to the point of, abuse, violence, whatever else, right? Like, you could even take it a step further. Again, like, Marina's mother abuses her. Shizuka here was going down the path of wanting to murder the other kids that were with Dad. Like, that's insane. Again, I feel like they're very similar. And it's this link to delusion or magic, whatever you want to call it. Marina's mum, is kind of enticed and kind of enchanted by this idea of the perfect housewife and the perfect family and the magic there within. And obviously Shizuka's got her magic thing with the perfect family unit as well, and Chappie and all that kind of stuff. And again, they're both just living in fantasy lands. Hey, Chappie's dead. Hey, Marina's mother, Dad's divorcing you. You need to face reality here at some point, no matter how hard it may be. Because continuing to be delusional leads to violent, aggressive outbursts. So I don't know, I found another cool connection between the characters, so I wanted to talk about it. Once again, maybe it's super obvious, I don't know, but there we go, I saw it. See, chat room, it's like poetry, it rhymes, it's all interconnected. Once again here we have a scene of Takopi happening upon a terrible, horrible situation that has occurred. Again, it's like episode 1. It's like when you find Shizuka. I love the Fawcett here too. I know I'm being very pedantic about things, but kind of the Fawcett being this kind of one constant in the room, like this one drip, it's just not quite right. It's kind of like the mum's whole complex, and it isn't perfect and all that kind of stuff per se. It's also this great kind of, okay, Nothing has changed. Everything stayed the same, even though that, Takopi's returning way later at night. It's also kind of like the tears falling from earlier too. Lots of stuff. It's a wonderful little detail. Oh, holy voice acting here too from Konami Kohara again, just killing it. I should have killed Shizuka in the 4th grade. I'm sorry for killing you in the here and now. Like projecting back that far to lead up to what's happened in the here and now. I don't think that's entirely fair. Marina falling apart here. If I knew that this was going to happen, at least I would have given you a name. Oh, you're finally back. It's all fallen apart. You've almost put me on this almost timeline per se of trying to find Azuma, and that's led to this whole situation occurring in a lot of ways. And then again, as Takopi loves to do, undercutting the seriousness of the scene by doing something kind of fantastical and ridiculous and cartoonish as he almost listens to a request, right? Okay, got it. Go back in time when you're in the 4th grade and kill Shizuka. Sounds like a plan. I'm off to go see the big happy clock and do that. Bye. And then Marin is like, don't care. I'm done with this shit. Again, I'm unsure how the time travel works. I'm pretty sure, again, this timeline's been abandoned, so I don't know. What you do kind of makes sense from that perspective. If it was the other time travel where you would go back and change something and then current reality would fade into view, then, I don't know, potentially you shouldn't have killed yourself. But I don't know. But I mean, she's kind of over it here at this point anyway because, well, obvious reasons. But, she's not believing in magic, I guess. She's done. And I already noted the fact that they both named him Takopi. I think that's just kind of swell and talks to a connection there. They could be friends in another timeline. Potentially, maybe somewhere. Then we have an art style change. We go to Planet Happy, and Mom's there and all the other Happy-Ins. It's all pretty swell and chill and stuff. I think this stuff looks great. I love that it's so very jovial and stuff. It looks like a children's picture book. It's great. And then Mom does the right thing because Takopi shows up and is like, hey, it's time to go back in time and kill this other girl. That'll make this other girl happy. And then it's like, well, looks like this cunt's fucked up. It's time to erase his memories and start him anew. You did the bad. You can't be here anymore. You should actually be banished, but we're going to do the next best thing and erase your memories. We've heard enough. We're not using the time machine to go back and kill anybody. Actually, no, I want to take that back. I said earlier in the video before, Mom does the right thing here and sees that Takopi's fucked up and says that no, you shouldn't go back and kill a child. And the best solution here is to erase your memories. No. No. We do not. That is the most band-aid solution. Takopi has fucked up. He's done the wrong thing. He's taken a bad lesson from his experiences, and he's obviously hurting. The worst thing we can do for him right now is just to start over again without remembering anything. That would suck, because then he can't learn from anything, and he can't learn to process negative emotions. Because he lost his memories is the reason why he's so emotionally stunted in episode 1. This is Mom's original sin, almost. I can't believe I didn't pick this up before. And again, projecting forward, I feel like the lesson here for Takopi going forward is no more memory wipes, no more redos, no more nothing. Hey, we got to do this right the first time. We got to try our best. And, trying our best is sometimes okay. And if we fuck up and if we make mistakes, obviously that sucks, but that's okay too. That's got to be the lesson. None of this redo memory loss stuff. No. Come on, Mom, be better. So you broke the rules, you'll forget everything that happened. Well, I mean, I feel for Marina, I feel for her situation. I don't want to forget what happened, therefore, rebellion. Little slap there too is crazy. The violent outburst. Look at the red mark there. He hits hard, Takopi. Get him a camera, he'll do some damage. And then, time travel, blah, 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 blah. We've kind of explained this side of it. We then go back to the start. The rest of the events of the show happen, and we end up back where we were, where he got hit with the rock by Shizuka. Oh yeah, they didn't even know what kill is. I think the sin, from their perspective, is that he returned without her or something. I guess. I don't know. they don't do violence and murder on Planet Happy. I guess that's fair enough. Love the censoring on Marina-chan as well, because his memories are blocked. He can't remember the reason why he came back and is going back to Earth. It's all this kind of hazy thing that he can barely recall. Only now that he has recalled it, he also remembers that he killed her with a camera. It's all very, you can backfill now, it's all very ironic. How could I have forgotten? I have to kill Kuze Shizuka. Doing his best Mob Psycho 100 impression here too. So this is where I get confused, chat room. Because now I must kill Shizuka, right? And then he kind of flies in. Is this in the aftermath of everything? Or did he regenerate or something after being killed by Shizuka? Is that the fucking red mist? Or is this still the same timeline? How does Azuma know what Takopi is if that's the case? I don't know. It's weird. I guess he left Shizuka, and then after leaving Shizuka, is flying back down with all the memories that he has gained once again from before. Sure, I don't see how that connects. No, he must have all the memories, right? Because now he's remembering that Shizuka's also nice. His two memories are almost like in conflict with one another, right? My first mission was to kill her, but then my second mission saw her being bullied, and I was endeared to her, and her smile meant a lot to me, and she fed me, and all this other kind of good stuff. And Marina was an awful person too, and then I killed her with a camera. I don't know, and then Azuma's here, he's got a little twinkle in his eye. This must be post the whole junior thing, and he's going to rendezvous. They're going to talk about something, plan a conclusion, which we'll then go pursue with gusto, I'm sure. And yeah, I mean, that's the episode. The ending throws me a little bit. I'm unsure about this whole thing and where it fits and whatnot. I get the weird kind of confusing mix of emotions for Takopi. It's just merely, logistical. I'm like, how is he here? How did he get here? Why is he flying down? It's all very confusing to me. But other than that, I mean, the episode's really good. I yapped about it for quite a long time, so it kind of must be. Yeah, just went in a direction I didn't expect, obviously, and I liked it because of it. I feel like it was a good direction to go. Surprise is big for me. I don't know. I like being pleasantly surprised by things. Mum's kind of crazy. I think the COVID detail is really interesting, as I went into. We've unpacked both their kind of mental situations in enough excruciating detail, I guess. Timeline's cool. It's cool. It's a really cool show. Really ambitious and, really fitting kind of the time and kind of the length of show chosen, I guess. Like, we chose to have a 6-episode show. It's really paced really well to kind of hit those 6 episodes too. Next week's last week, of course, if you're a patron, you could suggest things that I watch next. I take suggestions. I take them very well. So you could do that. Other than that, if this is public, there should be a poll. Look out for that as well. Patreon, of course, 1 week ahead. If you want to watch it, it's up there, ready to go. Yeah, other than that, I guess I'll see you later. Thank you for watching, and I don't know, hopefully they're happier next week. Goodbye.